Technology and the skills required to operate it keep on changing rapidly. The question is, are you ready to invest your time to gain more knowledge and stay relevant? Hey folks, CA Rachana Ranade here, and I welcome you all to a very important video wherein we are going to discuss top 5 things that you should consider before switching your job. I'm sure there is one most important point that everyone considers, and that is money. Absolutely, no doubt about it. That has to be one of the key factors before you decide to switch your job. But could there be other financial or other non-financial factors that you should be taking into consideration is what we are going to discuss in today's video. Before we move ahead, I would want to thank Amardeep and Soumya for their wonderful comments. Now let's move on with the first important point, which is about getting additional perks. But what could they be? They could be something like health insurance for your entire family. It could be more leaves. It could be flexible working hours or something like work from home. It could also include professional development opportunities which can add significant value to your overall compensation package. Now all these points need to be considered by a person before he or she thinks about switching a job. I'll give you one amazing example. Recently I had gone to Hyderabad and I got an opportunity to visit Google's office. In that office, other than work, of course, I found that, their work is so exciting, but other than that, there were certain perks that were offered to the employees, which was something like they had a separate play area wherein they could take a break. They had a nice gym. They had spa in their office. They had something like bunk beds where you just go in and you say, okay, Google, wake me up after 15 minutes or after 20 minutes. You go in, have a nap, be refreshed and come back and get back to work. All these are what? All these are examples of additional perks. So sometimes if you find an office with maybe a little bit lower salary but additional perks, that could be worth choosing over an office which has zero perks but a shade more salary. Let's move on with the second point, which is about cost of living. Now let's take an example for this. Assume that there is a person who is currently staying in Nashik and has this much as his salary. Assume that this person gets a job offer wherein he will have to relocate to Mumbai with this revised salary. Now he is in two minds whether to accept this offer or not. But for that, this person is thinking as to what could be the expenses after he shifts to Mumbai. Now have a imagination on this. If I were to think about rental expenses in Nashik, it could be this much, but for Mumbai, it could be this much. For food in Nashik, it could be okay. In Mumbai, alright. If I'm talking about travelling expenses in Nashik, okay. Mumbai, alright. And house help in Nashik and in Mumbai. Wow. Now you can see the difference in salary which we saw originally and the difference which is there after cutting down all the expenses is now a shade higher in Mumbai than in Nashik. But this is only about the financial angle. What about the emotional angle involved here? Now you can imagine this person, assume he has never ever stayed away from his family. If he is a person who is very ambitious and if he feels that, wow, I'll get an opportunity to work in Mumbai, that is a different scenario. But if he's very much attached to his family, then it will be difficult for him to stay away from his parents lonely in a big town. I'll give you a simple example of mine as well. While my son was just like 5-6 years old and I had an opportunity to go and work in Thane, I did that. I was there for almost a month or two. I felt good. I got a little bit more fame. I got more money. But when I came back home, I felt that the priceless moments that I could spend with my child, these I was missing out on. Instead, I was working at Thane. So everyone has to take that choice. Everyone has to look into the financial and non-financial aspects before taking a final decision. The third point is you have to check whether you have invested in yourself. Confused? Okay, let me explain this point. The other day, we were sitting at our office and we were discussing about various goals, right from financial goals to career goals. One of my colleagues said that, let's discuss about financial goals. I said, what is your short-term financial goal? He said, I want to buy a laptop. I said, nice. So have you invested accordingly? He said, yes, I have started my investment in bonds and FDs. I said, fantastic. Now that was about your financial goal. I asked, what was his career goal? He said that I'm thinking either of switching a job maybe because now I want to upgrade myself from an assistant manager to a manager. I said, target is nice, but have you invested accordingly? And he said, what? So that is a point where many people get confused. They don't understand about investing in themselves. In fact, Warren Buffett also has said that invest in yourself, it pays the best returns. There was also a study by LinkedIn which said that 25% of your skill sets need to be changed after every few years. So just to give you an example, if you possess 4 skill sets, one of the skill set has to be upgraded, has to be changed after every few years. I think you can now correlate this with the pre-bumper as to how, because of the changing technology, one person needs to be updated to stay relevant in the game. In fact, during job interviews, many times HR also check your resume and see whether you have upgraded yourself in the last few years or not. Because I always feel that there are two categories of employees. One category of employees, two punch, one lunch category. So that person is least bothered about upskilling and this and that. He is just interested to go in, go out, lunch, finish. And the other category of people are who are really interested to invest in their knowledge and to upskill themselves. So you must understand that if you want promotions, if you want better jobs, if you want better hikes, you have to invest in yourself. Now you might be like, Rachana, how did you do it? Did you do it for yourself or not? Answer is obviously yes. But you know, when I cleared my CA way back in 2008, that was the time when no websites were available, YouTube channel, nothing was available. So I had to upskill myself the harder way. I had to visit libraries, read books, I had to see television channels, newspapers, and these were only fewer means to upgrade myself. But for you all, there is an amazing solution. It is TimesPro website. Well, TimesPro is an initiative by Times of India Group. If you go onto the website and if you just check out the courses, there are various courses related to leadership and strategy, be it technology analytics, HR, product management, finance, general management, and a lot more. So let's check out few courses. So if I were to search for leadership, then you can see that all these courses are around leadership, and you can see right from IIM Lucknow to IIM Kashipur, IIM Indore, and a lot more courses are available. Now, other than leadership, if you want to check, let us say for strategy, if you can just check out for strategy, then you can see here, again, a lot of courses are again available for strategy as well, and you can also filter them out as per your needs. So just in case if you want, you can check, okay, this is the fees structure range that I want to check out for, or this could be the delivery type. You have filters for university, for course duration, and a lot more. If you want, I now, because it is about my field, let me also check for finance. Now, if I check for finance, oh, there are a lot of courses which even I should check out. But for you all, the link is there in the description. And all in all, I can say, be it the different category of people, be it different age groups, be it different skill sets, this website has a lot of courses available. So don't forget to check out the website, and don't forget to invest in yourself and upskill yourself before considering of a switch in your job. The fourth point is about career growth. There are a lot of people who believe that rather than working in a big firm where they can make no difference, it's always better to work in a small firm where they can make a big difference. So just to clarify this point, assume that there is a person who gets two opportunities, one in a mid-sized company and one in a multinational company. In this company, there are only 5 people in the finance department, and this person is one of them. Now you can imagine the amount or the exposure that this person will get to various fields in the space of finance. Vis-a-vis, if this person switches to this MNC, there would be like 500 people in this finance department, wherein his exposure of work will be very, very restricted and limited. So it's upon this person how to choose his career growth path. Now, if this person feels that, okay, I know that this is my specialization, this is my super specialization, then an MNC can be good for that person. But if a person wants to explore various fields in his specific space, then always it is better to go for mid-sized companies, compromise the immediate financial gain, but in the long term, succeed with this experience. Let's move on with the last point, which is about job security. I'm sure you have heard about the layoffs and number of organizations downsizing their number of employees. You might have read this in newspapers, you might have seen it on televisions. Be it big names like Google, Meta, Accenture, everyone has unfortunately laid off a lot of employees. Now, in such an unstable environment, if you get a different job offer, what should be your point of thinking? See, if you have already proven yourself in a specific organization, then just because you could get a 5 5% rise, 10% rise, should you really switch to the newer organization or not is the big question. Well, if you ask me, my thought process as an employer is ideally you should not switch in such a case. Why? Let me give you my own example. Assume that I have 2 employees in my company and unfortunately I have to downsize my organization. I have to keep only one of the employees out of these 2. One employee is a person who has been working with me for, let us say, 4 or 5 years, has proven his performance, whereas the second employee is just a new recruit who is yet to prove himself. In such a scenario, I may choose to keep the older employee because I know the pluses and minuses of that employee, and I might unfortunately have to let go the newer recruit. So what could be the conclusion of this point? In such an unstable environment, just for a 5% rise or a 10% rise, ideally switching a job might not be a great idea. Rather than staying in the organization where you've proven yourself could be a better idea. Well, that brings us to the end of today's video. Today we discussed about top 5 things that you should consider before switching your job. We did talk about few financial points and few non-financial points as well. But to be honest, today's video was more about perspectives rather than right or wrong. So if you have some different thoughts, some different opinions, don't forget to write your own thoughts in the comment section below. As I mentioned, if you want to upskill yourself, don't forget to check out the link in the description box. If you love today's video, don't forget to share it with your friends as well. Don't forget to smash the like button. And if you want to stay updated with your knowledge, don't forget to click here. Till then, take care, Jai Hind and bye-bye.